What's up, everybody? It's your boy Grange, back in the review for you guys, and today we've got a brand new video. It's about Pascal Siakam. So let's get right into this. So you might not know this, but in the last few days, especially the last day and a half, Pascal Siakam trade rumors have just dialed up, man, quite a bit, to the point where it seems like he'll be traded before the season even starts. Before it starts season, before even training camp, he'll most likely be dealt. And obviously, we've known for a while that the Atlanta Hawks are the front runners still, which is still the case. Well, we also found out that the Pacers and Magic are interested, and the Pacers are, according to Marc Stein, even a legitimate contender to acquire Pascal. So yeah, let's get right into this with the reporting. So this is from Michael Grange. Take it with a grain of salt. Michael Grange, he's a mouthpiece pretty much for the Raptors front office, right? Like Masai, pretty much. Apparently Masai just feeds Grange information, and also Grange, releases articles with that information, and it's just to mess around with the market, man. So it's just some tactics, man, some strategies to in order to make some moves, in order to gain a competitive advantage, I guess you could say, on the opposing teams, to kind of scare them into giving a better offer and deal rate, so just better stuff. But Michael Grange saying, per league sources, the Raptors are still listening, trying to gauge the market value for Siakam. Atlanta remains a possibility, and Indiana has also reached out. So yeah, we've all known this. We've all known this for a while. So about probably a few days ago, when DeJounte Murray he signed that contract extension with the Hawks, the 4 years, $100 million or $120 million contract extension deal with them, that pretty much we just assumed because of that, Siakam was going to. We just assumed that Siakam was going to get traded to at least to the Hawks, or even in general, because the Hawks are the main team that the Raptors are talking to for trading Pascal Siakam too. And yeah, DeJounte Murray is the centerpiece of the trade that the Raptors will get back in return for Pascal. So once that happened, we assumed the deal's off, because when you sign an extension, right, you're not eligible for trade until around January. So yeah, we're like, okay, so the deal's not happening, it's done. And then we find out from Grange, okay, so this is Grange, so it might not be true, but it seems like it is because of some other reports. But he's saying, yeah, it's still possible. The Raptors are still trying to, trade Siakam, which we thought, that wasn't going to happen, but it still is actually. And in fact, the Hawks are still a team that remain a possibility according to him. So the deal will be, I don't know, maybe around Hunter. Hunter makes around $20 million. Maybe in Capella, I'm not sure, but the Capella one wouldn't make much sense. But the Hunter one makes more sense because of his salary and stuff, and just because of his position. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about the deal. And also, he said that Indiana has also reached out, which we just found out now, right, from Grange. Indiana is another team. I guess they're trying to make a big splash, right? They've had a pretty good free agency so far, right? They got Obi Toppin, that was pretty big. They pretty much got him for really cheap, yeah. That's a big. But man, Indiana getting Siakam, that'd be interesting. I don't know what the deal or the trade package would be for that, but that's very interesting. And the thing is, for these deals, you're probably not going to get a lot for Siakam, because he has 1 year left on his deal, and he is not guaranteeing to sign an extension or telling teams, yeah, I'll stay if you pass the season. So that right there is just making teams not give up as much as they would otherwise, because the guy could literally just walk after the season for nothing, right? And he literally wants to stay in Toronto. That's the thing. So we're pretty much just at crossroads, because eventually you're going to have to get rid of either one of Pascal or Scottie, right? And us doing the two timelines, kind of like the Warriors thing, you see, it's just not working, man. The Warriors had to deal pool, right? Whether, circumstance, right? Whatever, regardless of the circumstance, they had to deal with, because the two timelines and stuff like that. Raptors, same situation. Of course, Raptors are way worse than the Warriors. They're not even comparable, right? And rankings wise or whatever. But besides the point, the two timelines thing doesn't work. And it seems like the Raptors are choosing to trade Pascal Siakam and build around Scottie Barnes, which I think is the right move, obviously. And then this is the other thing. The next thing was that notorious Twitter account, Dropping Dimes 20. If you don't know, Dropping Dimes 20, he just came out of nowhere at the start of free agency, and he started predicting a whole bunch of signings and trades, like the Dame thing, the James Harden trade requests and stuff like that. So he just became really reliable, and he was literally reporting this stuff before Woj and Shams did, 2 hours before Woj and Shams were reporting, the Dame, he reported the Dame and Harden thing about 2 hours before Woj and Shams did. So yeah, man, he's got some insiders, you know what I mean? Pretty much he tweeted, I wonder how Siakam feels about the city Lil Baby and Quavo are from. And then not even 1 minute after he tweeted that, he just deactivated his account 1 minute after. And he's been hitting, man. He hasn't been missing. He's been hitting on everything, so that's not a good sign. But yeah, if you don't know, Quavo and Lil Baby are from Georgia, of course, but also they're from Atlanta, from what I know. But this, at least, that's what it's trying to say. Maybe they're not from Atlanta. Maybe they're from somewhere else. But pretty much, that's what Dropping Dimes is trying to say. That Siakam's gonna go to Atlanta, and he's been hitting. So I trust it. When I saw this, I was kind of shocked though. I'm like, wow, I wasn't expecting this, because the whole DeJounte Murray extension just made it seem like signified that the trade's not happening anymore. But yeah, this was just a wrench, man. This was a whole. I was blindsided about this. And then also, not too long after that, probably an hour or two after that, Deandre Hunter deleted all his previous Instagram posts about the Hawks. And typically when this happens, a player's on the move, right? We saw this, I think, we saw this recently. I forget with who, but we saw this recently, and then not too long after, that player was traded. They were gone from their team, right? And yeah, and I don't find it a coincidence, or it can't be a coincidence that this happens not even like 2 hours after the Siakam news breaks out, right? From Dropping Dimes and even Michael Grange. So that's kind of crazy. And also, he only has one post up with a caption saying "Sio." I don't know what that means. I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. But pretty much it translates to either hello or goodbye. So that's like a new beginning, or the end of an end of a journey, right? Like, yeah, that's man, this is crazy. Obviously, Hunter's a good player, but yeah, this is the type of deal you're trying. We're seeing kind of what the value on Siakam is right now, because if the centerpiece is DeAndre Hunter, that's not a very good sign. Like, he's a good player, right? But in my eyes, he's just like another OG, which is fine. Another OG, that's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. But obviously, he's not as good as OG, but same type of, play style, 3-and-D, right? Hunter does have injuries and, injury concerns like that. He's injury prone. But, man, he's good. But the thing is because they can't trade Murray anymore, so now it has to be Hunter deal or Capella. But Capella doesn't make much sense if you think about it. So Hunter, he has like, what, $20 million deal? That's why. So let me know what you think about getting a Hunter package, a DeAndre Hunter center package from the Hawks for Pascal. And then this is from Marc Stein. Marc Stein is a very reliable source. He doesn't miss, man. And he reports when he's like pretty much just confident in everything, right? Like 100%. He pretty much thinks like, yeah, this is a done deal pretty much, right? He said, my read is that the Raptors, in wake of Fred VanVleet's free agent departure to Houston, are eager to give more runway to Scottie and O.G. under Darko Rajakovic. So he's pretty much saying, since Fred is gone, the Raptors don't really, think it's worth having Siakam on the roster now. It doesn't make much sense. So pretty much saying, without one, there's no point having the other, right? Because they don't really fit our timelines if you think about it. Neither of them do, right? They're both, significantly older than pretty much the rest of the team, besides, a few other, veterans on our team, right? But like OG, Scottie, Gary, they're around the same age, right? This is me and Scottie. They want to give, like it says here, want to give more touches to Scottie and OG, right? OG might finally get his chance, to handle the ball more, touch the ball more, get more shots. Scottie, man, he's finally gonna see Scottie, we're finally gonna see Scottie get the ball, be the number one option, man. This is gonna be great. And Darko Rajakovic, man, he's gonna, just all summer long, he's been saying, very openly that he wants to get Scottie more touches, man. Pretty much saying he just wants to build around him. So this isn't surprising at all. But yeah, man, I feel bad for Jakob Poeltl. He's the one that's getting the end of the stick here, the short end of the stick here, because he's best friends. Both best friends might be gone from the Raptors. And he just literally signed a 4-year, $80 million deal. So he might be here for 4 years, man. Probably not. We'll probably trade him before that deal ends, but still. At least getting $20 million, but still, it's kind of sad. I bet if he knew both of them were going to leave, he wasn't going to, stay here. Or if he knew that both of them weren't going to be on the team, he probably would not stay here. Yeah, he said Fred leaving kind of sucked, right? Because, of course he wants to play Fred. But at least there's still Pascal. If Pascal's gone now, then he has no one, right? That's kind of like, oh, just, damn. The reason why I wanted to come back here, one of the main reasons why, it's just, done. It's gone. This next thing pretty much says, Marc Stein is reporting all throughout the offseason that Siakam was unlikely to be moved. He's now saying Siakam is one of 3 players probably moving along with Harden and Lillard. Now, this is how you know it's getting real now. Marc Stein is reporting it, and that's just a bombshell right there. He literally said one of 3 players probably moving along with Harden and Lillard. As we know, Harden requested a trade, right? He's trying to get away from Philly, right? Preferably the Clippers are the front runners for Harden. And then Lillard, obviously, he requested a trade as well. He's trying to get to Miami. And then they got their own, situation going on. But obviously, Siakam wants to stay here. In this case, it's different because Siakam, the player himself, wants to stay here. It seems like the team doesn't want him, right? So that's the thing. it's kind of messed up because if we just traded Siakam, even at the draft day or even before this year, could have got way more value. Also, if we just traded Fred, right, could have made way more value. And if we didn't do the Jakob Poeltl trade, we could have, we might lose our pick. We might lose our pick next year because of the Jakob Poeltl trade, right? If we're not top 5 or below, right? So pretty much, if we were going to trade Siakam anyways and rebuild, then why didn't we just do this earlier, right? I feel like this is the thing I kind of hate. The Raptors are so undecided for so long, and this is kind of annoying, right? They could have literally been doing this like over 2 years ago or 2 seasons ago. That's the annoying part. But the fact they're doing it now, it's like, why would you make the Poeltl trade? Why would you make the Thad trade? Like, why would you make these trades if you were ultimately just going to do this, right? Fred was going to leave. You messed that up kind of, right? You could have traded him beforehand. You just risked it, right? You risked it just thinking, oh, he's going to stay. But he obviously didn't. And Siakam wants to stay, but you want to trade him because you realize, oh, shoot, we're kind of screwed now. We kind of have to trade him, right? We have no choice because we don't give him that supermax, right? Because then it's going to, make the rest of the team just worse, right? In terms of re-signing people, keeping people, right, in general, just getting new players in general, right? It's going to, kind of just bring the team down in terms of what they can, do, the type of free agents they can bring in and stuff like that. Like the amount of money they'll have to, actually use. And then also, Marc Stein reported that it's increasingly conceivable that Siakam could be moved and the Pacers have emerged as a legit suitor. So this backs up Michael Grange's report saying the Pacers pretty much have interest in, Siakam. But now Marc Stein's saying he's going a step above and saying not only do the Pacers have interest, they're a legit suitor for Siakam. So meaning they're right up there at the Hawks, man, of, in terms of acquiring Siakam, which is surprising. They just came out of nowhere, man. Like, where did the Pacers come from, man? Maybe, I don't know, maybe Tyrese Halliburton after signing that extension was like, yo, we need to get, I want Siakam, man. We need to make some moves, man. We need to get another big free agent in here, man. So that is interesting. Yeah, as it also says here, just a few days ago, Stein reported it's unlikely that Siakam will be moved, so something has changed. Yeah, obviously the Raptors realized, this is not it, man. We're not going to get anywhere here. Us giving Siakam that big supermax, it just kind of handcuff us for the future, right? Because that might cause OG to leave because we might not be able to give him the money we want or money he wants and the role he wants. And yeah, it's just not a good look, man. It's just not a good look. We kind of just bottled this. I'm not gonna lie. The front office, they kind of bottled this. I still have faith, but man, this could have been done over 2 years ago. And yeah, the full quote here says, yet it is increasingly conceivable that Pascal Siakam could be moved before one or both of them, given that Siakam's trade chatter has begun bubbling at an increased rate. So yeah, like I said, the past like day and a half just went up. The Siakam trade was just came up out of nowhere. It was like, it went from he's gonna get traded to the Hawks most likely to, Murray signed an extension, so he's not gonna get traded at all now. And then now it's back to, he's getting traded for sure before the start of the season. So this is a crazy roller coaster. And yeah, so this most likely means now, obviously we're gonna build around, as one of the early reports we went over with Scottie and O.G. We're gonna build around them now, right? Obviously Darko's gonna have the main focus on Scottie and then O.G. And then O.G. now finally gets the role he wants, right? A way bigger role. He can, handle the ball more, even though he doesn't have that good of a handle, right? Hopefully he gets better at that, but, we've been hoping that for the past, few years. And he kind of starts off the first month of the season, kind of strong for his handle, and then just dips. So I'm hoping he, learns how to handle the ball better, but, OG's a W otherwise. And, OG gets more touches and stuff. And this means most likely OG will sign the extension with the Raptors, because that was the main thing. The money was whatever, right? We can offer him the money now. The money wasn't really that big of an issue, right? The main thing was that he wanted a bigger role, and he might have just left the team because of that, right? If we didn't give him that, because, we had a whole bunch of other players ahead of him. So this is interesting now. There's a lot of things unfolding. The next thing is from Marc Stein again, saying, the Raptors are indeed far more prepared to surrender Siakam than initially realized. Yeah, and that makes sense because, like I said, a few days ago, it was pretty much like dead after the Murray extension, right? No one thought it was going to happen. It's done, right? Because the front runners were supposed to be the Hawks, and then, the chatter died down because of the Murray extension. And then, just the last day and a half just picked back up all of a sudden. A whole bunch of things just came out at once. All these reports about Siakam getting dealt, most likely before even the start of the season. So obviously, the Raptors changed something. Their mindset changed. They realized something that, I don't know, maybe we don't know. They realized something that maybe, got like a clear, level-headed mind. They're like, oh, damn, we need to trade this guy because if we sign to that big deal, we're going to be stuck in mediocrity for a while. And then we're just going to lose other key players of our team, and it's just going to be just even more down than we are right now, right? because we can't even make the play-in, or sorry, we can't even win the play-in, right? Like right now, and then if we gave Siakam this deal, obviously Siakam's going, man, I love Siakam. Well, if we get this deal, it would affect the rest of our roster, right? In terms of the players we can re-sign, the quality of, depth we'll have and stuff like that. So that's why. I just wish the Raptors, made these choices before, way before, because this could have all been avoided. And then Scottie Barnes posted this. I don't know what this means, man. It's just like like a good luck kind of thing, and then shocked. And it's like, bro, like I don't know what he's trying to say here, but besides the point. And then Marc Stein was on Sportsnet, and he pretty much here's some of the key things that he said. Siakam's name is coming up more and more in trade talks, as we discussed. More teams are coming up interested in Siakam, and all these reports coming out about him. And Atlanta has been the most active team for sure, right? As we know, Atlanta have been the front runners for Siakam. They've been talking to the Raptors for a trade, about Siakam for who knows how long now. It feels like it's been at least 1 month, right? Just continuous talks between the two teams about him. And then Raptors want good young players and draft capital. That's the thing. Obviously, you can get good young players, but the amount and quality of good young players you can get and draft capital is, a lot. It's going to be tough because you're not going to get much because of Siakam not guaranteeing that he'll stay if the team he gets traded to, right? That's the thing. We're not going to get, don't expect a haul. We're not going to get a haul for Siakam. I'm just saying that right now. Since he's not guaranteeing he's going to re-sign with that team, teams are not going to be willing up to give their best assets, their best packages for Siakam due to that. So the Hunter deal, it'll literally be around Hunter. And then maybe a first-round pick. Maybe. Hunter, maybe Onyeka, Okongwu, who else? AJ Griffin, maybe someone, Kobe Buffkin. Those are like the people I'm thinking of in the deal, right? So, and we wouldn't be getting all of them, by the way, and only probably one first-round pick. So that's the thing. And the Raptors have confidence in Scottie and O.G. Of course, that makes sense, because why else would you trade Siakam, right, if you don't have confidence in the other players that you want to build around, right? Because they're planning on building around Scottie and O.G., right? Because they have confidence in them, right? That's why they're trading Siakam. The Raptors are finally moving on, right? Rebuilding. And the trade is far more likely than an extension, which makes sense, because if the Raptors wanted to, they could have offered this extension a good amount of time ago, to be honest. Which means, because Siakam wants to stay, this all just means that the Raptors don't want him. They don't want to keep him, right? And it's kind of unfortunate that, we got to this point, but that's how it goes sometimes, man. It's business, I suppose. And then, this came up, about 30 minutes ago from Michael Grange. Take it with a grain of salt again. But Orlando is another team that bears watching for Pascal Siakam, meaning Orlando is another team that's interested in Siakam. What could a Orlando deal be? Probably something along the lines of what the Fred VanVleet deal was, if he got traded there, could have been. So Cole Anthony, I can see being in it. If we can get who else? Cole Anthony. Would they give us Wendell? Probably not. But I know for sure Cole Anthony would probably be in it. They wouldn't give us Markelle. I don't know who else would be in that trade. But that'd be interesting. Let me know what you think about that down below. What trade packages we could get from that. And that's all the Siakam news for now. So let me know what you think down below. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.